Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, where today we will be fighting off the evil Germans in an awesome campaign. That is at least what I wanted to say originally. However, this is me speaking from post-production. Yep. Do you know what happens when you record a video that lasts around an hour without you turning your microphone on? Yeah, pretty much this happens. Me being fairly frustrated. And now I have to talk about a video that I just did like 1.5, 2 hours ago, wondering what the hell I was doing and what the hell I was saying. This is so not my thing. Anyway, it's a fun battle, I suppose. Some things happen that were quite unexpected, some annoying things, some fun things, you know, the usual. And yeah, one of the fun things is this. 25 battleships versus 8. We outgunned them massively. However, they do have a lot of escorts. Just look at my fleet, look at the formation, and look at all the division cards. Oh my, I have some work cut out for me. Eventually, I grew tired of it, to be honest, and just settled on a fairly simple formation order. While setting up the formations, though, I came across this relic. I apparently took it along for the ride. Whoops, my bad. I think this was a French warship that I captured like 3 years ago, 4 years ago. And when I moved all my ships, I accidentally moved her as well. Wow, believe it or not, she will actually be useful during this fight. Anyway, let's continue setting up and I'll be back in an effie. Again. So, yeah, here we are. We have 2 main battleship divisions of 12 dreadnoughts each. We have 1 division of 3 ships, that is the Rosa, with 2 damaged destroyers as an escort. They will escort the Rosa away from the battlefield, at least that was the original thought. Then we have 2 heavy cruiser divisions, 2 light cruiser divisions, and 2 divisions of 7 destroyers each. Those are the gunboats, and the last division of only 4 ships is for torpedo boats, who I will generally forget about for a while. Lol. So yeah, that's it. Let's get to the battle. And we're off. Fleets are forming up, although it is taking a long time when suddenly enemy torpedo boats show up like a few kilometers from my heavy cruisers. Enemy torpedo boats have a 3.3 kilometer range on their torpedoes, and oh my god, there is a torpedo already! I should have dodged. I should have done something. I was just stunned here for a moment, like, torpedoes already at this range. What the hell? And my first heavy cruiser is out of the fight. It's damaged beyond repair, it has engine damage, it can no longer function. Just a suicidal attack from enemy torpedo boats. 1 torpedo was launched. I can live with that. It's frustrating, yes, but sure. Okay, making sure the Rosa is still on course to go away. What? What? Oh my god. Oh my god, a second torpedo. They launched multiple torpedoes and not 1, and a second heavy cruiser is down. Heavy engine damage, and she is out of the fight. I am so frustrated. In some regards, I mean, even looking back at this and seeing the next torpedo come in some regards, I'm still frustrated, even hours after. Yeah, it's a dud. Thank you. I could have lost a destroyer here as well. The Germans have a very good start. What happened? Well, to put it simply, the Germans invested in torpedo tech and I didn't. The Germans have invested in better spotting range for their ships and I haven't. Honestly, I should start investing in those. Like, very soon. My dreadnoughts are still forming up, and I'm still reeling from this attack. The massive damage on 2 of my heavy cruisers, fairly new ships. Quite frustrating. Anyway, it seems these 2 torpedo boats were the only ships of the enemy in range so far, so let's skip ahead. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, of course we get a case of friendly fire. And of course it's once again my light cruisers hitting my escort ships, in this case my destroyers, who almost got torpedoed as well, so evasive maneuvers on the entire formation except the first 2. They're fine. And this is starting to become an issue. The enemy just shows up, launches torpedoes, and they vanish. I do not like guerrilla warfare, honestly. Although it has some advantages. Only a few enemy ships show up, and those that show up, well, my fleet will all target those 1 or 2 ships in range. So they tend to die fairly quickly. And I'm feeling a bit more confident now. I've recovered from those earlier torpedo attacks. I figured out how to deal with it for now. And I'm fairly confident I can deal with them. So, looking around, see if I can see any more smoke screens. Oh, hey, look at that. My 4 destroyers. Oh, they're pretty far away. And do you see that smoke screen here on the left that's moving to flank me? Those ships will be so annoying later on. They won't do a lot of damage, but they will be annoying. However, I'm feeling fairly confident. My destroyers keep moving up and down the front line, spotting the enemy for my battleships, for my cruisers. A heavy cruiser group is moving in as well, and my dreadnoughts are fairly far away, but still able to provide good covering fire with those amazing 13-inch guns. And then it appears we finally have something akin to an enemy formation that is getting closer. So yeah, let's engage, shall we? I'm counting on my torpedo boats to keep them spotted, my destroyers, pardon me. And yeah, second group, just try to get back here. For now I'm thinking, yeah, there's possibly an enemy flanking force, but nothing too serious. And my cruisers, my destroyers, they're moving in here to deal with this light group that decided to engage me. Right now I'm cursing about the enemy torpedoes and my own torpedo ranges. Yeah, if I had like 6-7 kilometer range torpedoes by now, then my destroyers would be a lot more useful, but yeah, it is what it is. No need to complain about it. One of the other things I'm annoyed about is the size of the fleet, just keeping track of things. Honestly, only that one destroyer group and I think at one point a light cruiser division are forgotten about. However, most of the time, I think I'm doing okay with keeping track of my ships. Just look at the shells. Ain't they pretty? Another enemy group goes down rapidly. Just ship after ship after ship. Massive hits. And that is the second stage of this fight. It seems there are no more enemy ships in range, and I can refocus on getting my ships in order, getting the right course set up, and hopefully see what will happen next. Let's skip a bit forward, shall we? Another couple of enemy ships have been spotted and have been dealt with quite efficiently. And right now I'm like, you know, my destroyer group is finally catching back up. Where did that enemy squadron go? No worries. They won't go that far. It's nearly impossible. I reckon they have turned back towards their main fleet. And I kinda, well, I wouldn't say I forgot about them, not at all, but yeah, low priority targets. Hey, surprise! Look what we have here, another enemy group. A fairly big group even. And it looks like my destroyers are in between one, maybe two enemy groups, so I'm following that left group back, and I'm gonna focus on this fairly large group of cruisers. At least I think they're cruisers from this angle. Can't quite see it anymore. I do see, however, that a lot of my shells keep missing the targets. Rangefinders. Oh, look at that. Whoa, that destroyer came close. That was kind of scary. That could have been a torpedo attempt. Most likely was. And look at the enemy ships. Another cruiser goes down. The Elizabeth is leading the charge. But, whoa, wait a minute. Yeah, there's another ship. Still looking okay. Moving some battle groups in for the kill. Another light cruiser goes down, another heavy cruiser goes down. They're falling like flies. It's one of the main issues I noticed with how the AI handles these larger battles. They tend to form up around their, well, capital ships, I suppose, and they send in their divisions, just one or two at a time. They send in 2, maybe 3 torpedo boat groups. They send in 1 or 2 light cruiser and or heavy cruisers, and then they send in their battleships. And eventually all they have left are the remains of some lighter groups that, you know, managed to get away after the first barrage, so to say. But it's a shame. I think the... Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. What do we have here? Oh. My damaged ships are under attack by enemy light ships. Oh crap. I'm sending the Rosa back to deal with those. The Rosa is, well, it's a French battleship. She's slow, she's old. It's probably the least useful ship in my fleet, but gotta do something, right? As far as I know, at that time at least, oh, look at that damage, by the way. But as far as I know, it's only a small group of enemy ships, so I'm not too worried. But if my estimation had been wrong, that could have been a disaster. There could have been like 2-3 divisions there. Anyway, as you can see, my destroyers and my cruisers are moving up fairly aggressively towards the enemy smoke screen. While, you know, the first 5 minutes of the first engagements, when my cruisers got hit by torpedoes, I was like, oh my god, I might actually lose this. But by now, my mood had turned around completely. I am 100% confident that I can win and that I will win. That said, I think, yes, the land rail goes down. One of my destroyers got nuked, and if I recall correctly, it was by a 11-inch gun from the German side. Very unlucky there. The enemy paid for it though, with multiple ships being destroyed. Turning my destroyers away, because the enemy is charging. And wondering what this group is doing right now. So, turning on evasive maneuvers quickly, on and off, to reset the AI for the ship, and let's continue. Believe it or not, most ships are where I want them to be. Most of them. We kinda surround the enemy. And slowly, my battleship is returning to the battlefield. In retrospect, I should have sent some of my light cruisers back, maybe 1 or 2 of my dreadnoughts, to deal with the issue, but yeah, I didn't. I do, however, really enjoy the fact that I'm basically surrounding the enemy fleet on 3 sides right now. And they're being hit fairly hard. My destroyers go in a big triangle formation and then back to the battlefield. Well, one of the older German battleships actually, with 9-inch guns. I'm actually really surprised that it's the battleships that are caught in a position like this. And for a moment the game really lagged, because one of the battleships decided to burn down. At least I suppose that's what caused it. Oh, talking about battleships being in trouble, my battleship here is getting a bit too close to the enemy. Not a big issue, but it could become one later on. You know, if they decide to fire torpedoes. So let's move the other divisions in as well and provide cover for my other ships. They certainly need it. Let's go in. Massive damage on the enemy escort ships, and my battleship manages to get away. The Elizabeth II survives to fight another day. Just repositioning my task forces. Just wondering where the hell did this cruiser force go, and look at that, the enemy task force, it's not one ship, it's 3 ships at least. And yeah, I'm starting to worry a bit. What if there are more? You know what? Am I going to pull these ships back already? No, I don't think I'll do it just yet. Well, I do. I'm moving a light cruiser group back to the rear of the battlefield to support my retreating ships. Much to my surprise, the Elizabeth is still in the lead of the formation, and I'm turning her back around. However, at this point, it's pretty much a turkey shoot, really. Just look at them go. So many German ships are sinking, one after the other. It's insane. I don't think I ever had so many ships die this quickly. That said, those ships still worry me. And back to the main battlefield. As you can see, the battlefield is quite large. And as such, you can probably understand why it's hard now and then to keep track of your ships. An enemy cruiser had a really bad day there. And let's see if we can properly flank them now. Another leg spike came in. And I noticed something. And it's not just the flash fire. Of course, the flash fire was nice, but wait. This is not an old-style battleship. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a dreadnought. The Germans have dreadnought battleships in this fight. Their 11-inchers are dreadnoughts, and they have a... well, they have 4 side-mounted 11-inch guns and 2 central guns. And that means that these German dreadnoughts outgun my dreadnoughts in terms of barrels. They have 2 barrels more on each side. They can shoot 2 barrels more than I can. Of course, I have a diameter advantage, but still. This means that my technological advantage against the Germans is not as big as I first thought. They have better torpedoes. Now they apparently have at least Dreadnought 1 hulls, so they probably have Dreadnought 2 as well. At least I'm gonna assume they have. I'm also gonna assume that I lost the enemy task force that was in my rear. They're still around, I haven't killed them. But since I lost track of them, I'm sending some of my ships back to the front line. Because, yeah, why not? However, I don't think much is happening for now, so let's skip forward. My casualties have been light this game, however, some of these were very close. Look at this destroyer. She suffered a ammo detonation, and yeah, she's out of the fight. Suddenly an enemy cruiser showed up right beside her. However, that is the most severely damaged ship in a while on my side. Although, even though I do not realize it at the time, I think it's around now that the Rosa actually gets pummeled quite a bit. She will survive without any issue, but she took quite some damage eventually, and I'm like, how? Why? Yeah, there in the distance I see some numbers popping up. The enemy task force back in visual range. And they actually hit that old battleship harder than I expected it would have expected at first. Not too worried though, I'm having confidence in my stolen battleship. Not sure I should, but hey, I do. And from now on, as you can see, most of the enemy capital ships are gone. It's just a cleanup, I suppose, so full speed ahead. And here I encounter the last of the enemy capital ships, and to my surprise and joy, it's indeed, as I said before, multiple side-mounted guns. These ones haven't blown up yet, and I'm actually surprised. That ship, in a fair fight, I don't know, I think he could beat my, my battleships. And in some regards, I'm like, oh man, that means I gotta focus more on my tech levels, and I gotta focus more. But on the other hand, I'm also quite happy, because this fight, this campaign, I wouldn't say it's over. I mean, let's face it, I haven't knocked out any enemy nation just yet. But all fights I had so far have been, you know, massive victories. Only one or two minor fights that I lost. Some auto-resolve mechanics made me lose some ships, but overall, I'm outgunning the enemy. My tech is superior. So yeah, in some regards, this campaign is a bit boring, I suppose. It's, you know, more fun to be the underdog. And having to fight for your survival rather than to club these seals all the time. Anyway, talking about seal clubbing, let's focus on seal clubbing again, shall we? What is the status of the seals? Turning my divisions. I expect the enemy mostly to flee to the west right now. So I try to catch up as quickly as I can. I believe that is the Royal Sovereign that is charging in. Yes, it is. One of a kind ship. Her likes shall never be seen again. And she just perfectly assisted in the murder of this German battleship. Her charge was not in vain. And back to... where the hell did you come from? And this is the point where I start complaining about the weather of this game, once more. I have a destroyer group there, dreadnoughts here, and the enemy can be in between my formations and I wouldn't know. In fact, those last destroyers, or torpedo boats, that we just saw, I don't think I'll ever see them again. They just slip away in between my formations and vanish. As far as I know. I guess the advantage of doing a post commentary like this is that I can actually focus on it more now. Trying to see in the upper right. No. No, I think he actually got away. Although, I did see a ship pop up there. I'm not focusing on it now, but yeah, there it is. There is some damage there. Nope, not focusing on it again. Now I'm looking and wondering. Oh, and I'm turning back. I couldn't quite tell. Could you guys? Could you guys see what happened to it? I just wasn't sure. Still ain't, really. I am sure, however, that this battle is coming to a close. So, yeah. Rather than just to talk for the sake of talking, let's speed things up again. Oh, and I love my 4 and 5 inch guns. I love my 30-inch guns as well, as you can see. What a damage. My 6-inchers, my 2-inchers, my 8-inchers, no way. They're shit. And with that, the fight draws to a close. Nothing can happen to me anymore. No, 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 no. Oh, god damn it. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Another 2 light cruisers have been heavy cruisers even have been torpedoed. And both of them, well, they're still functional, sure, but I'm not gonna risk that, so these 2 ships can disengage. Ouch. That is 4 heavy cruisers that have been hit by torpedoes, and more importantly, that I didn't realize at the time, but 4 heavy cruisers that have also been badly damaged by those torpedoes. I need better protection against torpedoes if I look at this. What kind of anti-torpedo system have I added to those ships? Whatever they are, they're not good enough. One minor skirmish later, and I decide to call it a day. The enemy fleet has been decimated. A few ships probably got away. Some torpedo boats, some destroyers. I'm okay with that. One ship of mine sunk. This, of course, has been the destroyer Landrail. One of my older ships that I remember from previous battles. She shall be remembered for the next 2 seconds. The enemy, however, lost, well, pretty much everything, except for a couple of escorts and 1 heavy cruiser, apparently. Was it a heavy cruiser? Was it a light cruiser? Go back up. Go back up. No. Oh. That's what happens if you don't pay attention on the commentary. Lol. Surprise. The Germans want to enter war. Now, why would they do that? 83 ships have been destroyed on the German side. I lost 1. Some of my ships are badly damaged. Sure, we're looking at 3, in some cases even 5 months repair times, I think. But the German fleet, look at that. They lost so many ships. Almost half their fleet is gone. One more attack like this and Germany will be completely wiped out. And frankly, that is what I'm going for. I'm going to attempt to eliminate the Germans once and for all. because, you know, looking back at it, the campaign has been pretty easy so far. I'm at a massive advantage, and yeah, I'm looking forward to trying something else. A different campaign, different nation, you know, the usual. So, ladies and gentlemen, next time, let's see if we can eliminate the Germans, and then the rest of the nations. Until then, I wish you a fond farewell.